Whoa, sun. Future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. Lovely morning here in Hawaii. Lovely. Not a cloud in the sky. Sun in my eye. It's awesome. My friend, the only conservative friend I have. The majority of my friends are liberals, but I have one conservative friend who's like me. He's been trying to get me to watch this show called The Mandalorian. Now, I was refusing to watch the show, not because of what just happened yesterday, and I'll explain that as I go along, but I'm one of the many people that thought The Last Jedi was one of the most horrible movies ever made, and that it totally destroyed the legacy of Star Wars. And that, you know, I didn't want to watch anything else because they totally destroyed it. So that's why I was refusing to watch Star Wars, because I thought it was just, they just went in the wrong direction with it. And my friend too felt the same way. We felt The Last Jedi was just horrible, and it is a horrible movie. And the majority of audiences think the same thing. It's a horror, regardless of your political fucking standpoint. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to think The Last Jedi was a good movie, because it's not. It's horribly written, horribly acted. Just a bad movie. Anyways, so that was the reason why I wasn't watching The Mandalorian or anything having to do with Star Wars now, because I just think they suck. He had started watching The Mandalorian just out of curiosity, and he told me it's a pretty good show. And I was like, yeah, right. And he was like, no, it's actually pretty good. So he's trying to get me to watch it. So I was like, yeah, okay. So this Friday we were going to watch it at his house, because I don't have Disney Plus. So we were gonna go drink some beers and watch it at his house. Lo and behold, what do I read this morning? Gina Carano is fired from The Mandalorian for her offensive social media posts. I was like, huh. Now, without knowing really anything about Gina Carano, I mean, I know that I've seen her fight a few times, and I watched a few of her movies, so I kind of know who she is. But, you know, I didn't even know she was in that fucking show. But, well, I thought she was pretty good. I mean, she's not the best actor, but, you know, she's an action star. You don't really need to be an actor. I mean, she can obviously do the acting roles. And it's cool because she's a woman, and she is a trained MMA fighter, so she knows what she's doing. So yeah, I was like, hey, that's good. She got fired for the post she made. Now, the post she made, this is what Disney said. Disney said they were offensive to races or whatever, and denigrated people. And I'm like, huh. Well, I'm not gonna let Disney tell me what is offensive about her post. I'll go read the damn thing. So I read it. And basically the post she got fired for was she was comparing the current political climate to Nazi Germany. But not the way the left does it. She's doing it the other way around. Saying, you know what? It was normal German citizens who burned Jewish shops, who persecuted Jewish, who beat up Jewish people, who stopped other people from going and shopping at Jewish shops. You know, who persecuted the Jews, and that's true. The brown shirts, this is a quick history lesson for you that don't know history. The brown shirts were Hitler's personal security. These weren't the army, this wasn't the government, this was his own personal security of his supporters, who went around and did this kind of shit. Now, they dressed in a uniform, but, you know, they were normal people. And they got people to hate the Jews and to persecute the Jews and to do horrible things to the Jews among the things that they did. So, her post is true. It is true. Because if you look at it, the current political climate, and this is, again, I've pointed this out before, how they call Trump a Nazi, how they call Trump supporters a Nazi, yet Trump supporters aren't doing fascistic tactics against people who don't support the president. We're not trying to ban your right to free speech. We're not trying to ban you off of social media. We're not trying to cancel you as an actress or an actor or a celebrity because of your political views that don't align with ours. We're not beating up fucking Jewish people, right? We're not beating up people that don't agree with us. You can say sometimes the Patriots beat up Antifa, but you know what? Antifa needs to be beat up because they're a bunch of anarchistic fucking thugs who deserve to get beat up. So I don't even count that. But anyway, they don't burn down shops. They don't loot shops. They don't fucking promote this hate speech against the race. None of that. The person's, and yet we get accused, conservatives get accused of being Nazis and fascists. When the reality is, the people who are being fascists are the people on the left. They're the ones trying to ban people and doing a good job at it because they got this lady fired. They're the one going around and burning and looting. The BLM riots, that's people on the left, my friend. They're the one fucking rioting and looting. They're the one pushing this insane thing that white people are inherently racist. All white people are racist. This critical race theory. They're the ones doing that. To the point where political leaders are doing this shit. Now, who's the fascists? Right. I mean, the irony of it, the anti-fascists, the woke fucking culture, they're the ones being fascists right now. And yet they're accusing us of being fascists when we haven't done any of those things. So this lady, Gina Carano, got fired for making a post on social media that was true. That was absolutely true. I mean, this is where we're at. Now, there's some Trump supporters out there. There's some people on the right that push insane theories that aren't true. But you can't point the finger at the right and go like, oh, ha, ha, they're all kooks, because you know what? There's a whole bunch of people on the left that push insane theories that are kooks. Not everybody, but there are out there. So I just don't get it. Well, I do get it. I get it because it's just the way the times are now. But you could get canceled because now her career is over as an actor anyway. As long as the political climate remains the way it is now. I mean, because she got fired from Disney. She'll never be hired by Disney again. She got let go by her talent agency. So now she doesn't have an agent. Nobody's gonna hire anybody on the left. I mean, she might get into movies that are run by conservatives, but you know, those are few and far between. So her career as an actor anyway is basically over. And she can always go fight again because Dana White is a conservative, so she could go fight for the UFC again. But I don't think she wants to fight anymore, you know, if she became an actor. I think her fighting days are past her. But again, her career is over for posting shit on social media that was true. And she posted some other things about transgenders. Now, all she did was post in her pronoun in her description. She posted beep bop boop to make fun of the transgender movement, and they gave her shit for that. It's like, I don't think you should be canceled for that. Absolutely not. This is not to rip on transgenders, but the transgender movement, the way it is now, is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I mean, me and my friend, who's a woman, we do a sport here in Hawaii that's called outrigger canoe paddling. So it's 6 people get into a canoe and we paddle it around the ocean. I know it sounds boring, but it's actually really fun. And you know, it's an ancient form of travel. The ancient Polynesians used it to conquer the Pacific. But anyway, this is what we do. And there's competitions, races from point A to point B around the island. Or we have sprints, which is more like Olympic style, where we just race in a straight line, make one turn and race back to the flag. And it's all broken up by gender. So those races that we have that are sprint, those are the ones that most people do, because most people don't like doing the long distance races. The one they most do is they're sprints. They're usually like a mile or 2 miles long, that's it. It's split up by gender. So there's, 12-year-old boys, 12-year-old girls, 16-year-old boys, 16-year-old girls, 18-year-olds. Then you have the open division, which is all from like 18 to 40. And then they break it down by 40s, 50s, 55s. But it's all broken down by race. The men can't race with the women because obviously the men destroy the women in this type of competition. Now, sometimes in the other races that we have, the ones that go from point A to point B, like long distance races that are like 10, 12, 15 miles, sometimes those races have mixed crews where it's 3 women and 3 men. Okay? Those crews are only allowed to race in the women's race because they also split up the women's race from the men's race. But in the women's race, the mixed crews are allowed to race in a race. And what do you think happens? Obviously, the mixed crews always come in first. See, it doesn't matter though because there's divisions, right? So it's split up by gender and age. So it doesn't matter if the mixed crew comes first. If you were the first women's crew that came across the finish line, regardless of your overall position, you'll get the first place medal because you weren't racing against that mixed crew, you were racing against your own gender. So, but other than that, it's split up by gender. So now with this transgender thing, I told my friend who's a woman that you're going to race one day in a race that's supposed to be all for women, and you guys might be the best crew out there, the most powerful crew out there that should win. You're going to come in second place to this crew of women that has a transgender athlete on there. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it's happening all over the country, but that's what's going to happen. Are you going to be okay with that? And she didn't have an answer for me because she's a liberal. She doesn't want to say that she thinks it's bullshit because she doesn't want to sound not woke. But I know she's not okay with it. Nonetheless, it's happening, and it's going to happen to all kind of sports like that. Now, that's the argument with the transgender thing. Right? They're trying to twist it saying, oh, they don't like transgenders. Like, no, it's not that we don't like transgenders. It's just you can't compete against the women because technically, scientifically, biologically, you're not a woman. And it's unfair to the real women. Again, that's controversial, I guess. Anyways, the point is, this woman, Gina Carano, just got canceled for having an opinion. Her career got destroyed because she didn't go along with the mainstream narrative. And she's not the first, and she's not going to be the last. But this is happening. This is real. This is real. And it's only getting worse day by day by day. I think personally that liberals will finally wake up and realize the danger of this. Because after they've gotten rid of all the conservatives and any celebrity or even an athlete, whatever, as soon as they've gotten rid of them, it's not going to stop. Then they're going to eat their own, you know? They are. That's how it happens. So I think at that point, when it gets to that point, which is it's already gone way too far, but once it gets to that point, I think liberals will finally start to wake up. But it might be once it gets to that point, it might be too late. You know, it might be too late. So my message to you liberals out there is, you guys need to wake the fuck up, man. And look what's happening. What's happening isn't right. And you guys are marching off this cliff. We gotta get together, man. It's kind of hard when half the country are truly idiots.